Hey there, gardening pals, welcome back to another video. It is extremely windy and cold over here in Zone 10A, Florida, and I don't know how much I am going to be able to tolerate this cold. But anyways, when I get home, I want to share with you a few crops that can actually tolerate partial to full shade. Because in one of my recent videos, someone mentioned that my plants need sunlight, and indeed they do need sunlight, but there are also plants that can tolerate partial to full shade. So I want to share some of those crops with you guys. So if you have an area in your garden that is very cool, you can go ahead and plant some of these veggies and herbs there. All right, so see you when I get home, guys. So guys, I actually came home a few hours ago with the intention of showing you some of the cool shade veggies and herbs that I'm growing. But I was very distraught at something that I saw. So I actually went inside to clear my head. So I went and I cooked, came back outside, and I rearranged my deck for a future project that I will be doing. But I am not going to show you what caused the distraught until the end of the video. So let me just jump right into the continuation of this video right now, and then I will show you why I was so distraught. So first up on my list, I have this Swiss chard right here that I have been growing for a few months now. So Swiss chard is a green leafy vegetable that can be used in a variety of different ways in the kitchen. It is very easy to grow and is a healthy addition into anyone's diet. So if you're considering to grow Swiss chard, they should actually be planted outside now. The indoor seed sowing actually started December 8th and was extended to January 6th. And for the outdoor spring planting window, it begins January 6th to February 10th. So we still have some time to sow a lot more Swiss chard seeds if we want to. Swiss chard can continue to be planted in summer but doesn't like temperatures above 90 Fahrenheit, that is 32 degrees Celsius. It is the most heat tolerant of the greens, and it will continue to produce leaves throughout the summer, but the taste won't be as good in the heat. So guys, the first time I really and truly appreciate peas is when I ate the sugar snap peas fresh from the vine. These peas are extremely prolific and typically give us more than we can handle in a season. Because of its versatility in cooking, everyone should be able to find a way to enjoy this great vegetable. From what I have observed, I noticed that the sugar snap peas, they do not like to be transplanted. The window for outdoor spring planting started December 30th and will end on February 3rd. So we still have some time to sow our sugar snap pea seeds. And please bear in mind, guys, these peas, they do not tolerate heat at all. Next on the list are some lettuces. I have some growing right here. And I also have some more over here. I have allowed these to go to seed. And as soon as I'm ready, I'm going to take those seeds and sow them right in here, along with some other stuff. Heading back over here to show you some radishes, guys. And radishes, they are very terrific vegetables to grow, especially if you have a time constraint or you're impatient to begin to get your food. These fast growing crops are a great addition to your garden, and you can harvest radishes within 30 days, that is from seeds. The outdoor spring planting window for radishes begins December 23rd and will end February 3rd. Radishes can continue to be planted in summer but does not tolerate temperatures above 90 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 32 degrees Celsius. Okay guys, as you can see, I have a coconut tree growing right here. Some of the branches has cascaded over this area, which makes it a pretty cool area to grow some green onions. So unlike the bulbing onions that needs energy from the sun to grow their bulbs, the green onions only grow for their leaves does better in the shade. And this is what the green onions look like. And I am actually growing these from store-bought green onions. So I took off the tops and then I stick them in the soil. As you can see, this part right here, I have already harvested some of the green onions. All right. And I think I also have mustard greens on the list as well, since I am already here. Mustard greens is one of the most beneficial things you can add in your diet to prevent cancer. They'll thrive in cool weather and add a flavorful, spicy kick to your diet. When I discovered mustard greens last year, I couldn't help myself but to order some more seed and start planting more. So if you're thinking of planting this beneficial crop in your garden, the outdoor spring planting window begins January 13th and will end on February 17th. They do not typically tolerate heat well, so be very mindful of the fact that when you're planting mustard greens, you have to plant them in a very shaded area to help extend the summer planting season. And here I also have some more mustard. And another one of the cool shady crop that we can grow is kale. So there's a different variety of kales that you can grow. This is the red Russian kale, and this is the black magic kale. And I think I have some blue curl kale somewhere around here. That doesn't look like the blue curl. I think that is the red Russian kale. Yes, but they are very, very suitable for cool shade. Did something eat the middle of this as well? Jesus have mercy, God. Oh Lord, let me hold my composure. Jesus. So guys, if you ask me, kale is one of the most potent vegetables that you can plant in your garden. It is packed with vitamin A, B, C, and K, and a large amount of fiber, potassium, and calcium. It is also one of the few plants that we can grow all winter long. We plant it in the fall, and it typically grows all the way until the following summer. The outdoor spring planting window for kale begins January 6th and will end on February 17th. And kale does not tolerate heat at all. All right, so another cool shade crop that you can grow is bok choy. And growing along with the bok choy is thyme. I have grown thyme in the past, and believe you me guys, whenever I put the thyme in a shaded area, it is more progressive than when I have it in the sun. So the ones in the sun, they tend to grow to an extent and then they just die. But if I happen to keep them in the shade, they will grow much faster. And look at these. And as you have all been seeing the bok choy, then how is this bok choy going to seed and it's in the shade? I don't understand. Look at this, guys. I'm not going to allow it to go to seeds, and I'm going to take out this part. And there are some pests in there as well. Looks like some aphids. Y'all see that? Yeah. Aphids trying to take over the bok choy already. Outdoor spring planting window for bok choy is January 20th, ends on March 3rd, and remember, it does not tolerate heat well. Okay. So another cool shade crop is celery. I started these from seed on November 17th. I have already transplanted some and they are growing okay. Personally speaking, celery is one of the hardest or the most difficult vegetable to grow in your garden. It takes a very long time for the seeds to germinate, but the reward will be quite tasty when you get the opportunity to grow them. This one right here, I've been growing from cuttings from store-bought vegetable, and this one as well. Another cool shade crop that we can grow are cauliflowers. The outdoor spring planting window for them begins December 30th, ends on February 3rd. So now is the time to start growing some cauliflowers in your garden. These are Brussels sprouts. So I have one here, one over here, and one down in there. Brussels sprouts is a cool season, slow growing crop. In the warmer areas, it is important to start these seeds indoors so they get a head start before it gets too warm. The outdoor spring planting dates for Brussels sprouts is January 6th to February 17th. And I think I might be choosing Brussels sprouts over cabbage for this year going forward because after all, I'll get more Brussels sprouts from a plant versus one single cabbage from a plant. Carrots is also on the list of things that can tolerate a lot of shade. So if you're thinking about growing carrots, ensure that you plant them in an area where they are not going to be scorched by the sun. These babies definitely do not like transplanting, so direct sow your carrots. And the outdoor spring planting window is from December 30th to February 3rd. I recently harvested some out of a pot and they did pretty well in that pot, and I think I might be growing some more. Collard greens is also on the list of plants that can tolerate partial to full shade. Now, if you're planning on growing collard greens, they should be planted outside now because the outdoor spring planting window is January 6th to February 17th. So collard greens is one of the rare leafy greens that can actually tolerate both heat and the cold temperatures long after our kale, spinach, and lettuce have bolted to seed. The collard greens will be going strong. They are almost pest resistant than the other members of the brassica family. Next up, we have some cabbages, and this is my very first cabbage that I grew last year. I really went through some struggles with it, but it made it out all right. And this is what the little head looks like. It was delicious, it was very firm, and the only reason why it survived was because it was in a more shaded area than the others that was planted. This is something that you have to take into consideration about cabbages. They take up a lot of space in your garden, so you have to ensure on the spot that you're going to be planting your cabbages. And cabbage worms, as their name implies, love cabbages as much as we do. However, they are easy to manage. Me personally, last year when I planted my cabbages, I planted some rosemary along with it, and I didn't have any pest problem at all. So this is something you might want to try with your cabbages. The seedlings can actually be planted out in the garden now. Their outdoor spring planting window is December 30th to February 3rd. Now, broccoli is one of the vegetables that I have never planted before. I don't think I've ever made an attempt to grow it. And since the outdoor spring planting window started December 23rd and will end on February 3rd, I am going to try to grow some broccoli this year. It is also one of my daughter's favorites, so I guess it's going to be an experience for us to grow our own broccoli and to have it fresh from our garden. Now, guys, take a look at these beets. It seems as if my earlier years of gardening was actually more, what should I say, bountiful, plenteous, was much, much better than now. Because looking back at some of the pictures and the things that I've harvested in years gone by, oh my goodness gracious, it makes me feel as if I am not doing anything now. But anyways, beets is another one of the vegetables that you can actually grow in a partial shade or full shade. And their outdoor spring planting window started December 30th and will end on February 3rd. Now, I really love beet greens and the beet itself. I eat them raw, I eat them stir fry, I blend them. If there is any other way that I can eat beets, guys, please let me know because it is a very, very, very nutritious and healthy vegetable to grow and to consume. And guys, if you did not know, potatoes are one of the most popular things grown in our gardens today, and it is also one of the vegetables that can grow in partial to full shade. I have grown mine both in ground and in containers, and I have gotten a great harvest from them. But one thing I noticed the last year, the last set that I planted in some yellow beans, they were directly in the sun. And guys, trust me, when I was looking for Irish potato to harvest, there was none. They were all burnt up, dried down to the ground, not even a single seed left to give me a harvest for another 3 months or anything like that. So I'm encouraging you if you're going to plant Irish potatoes, either the red ones, the white ones, no matter what variety, ensure that you plant them in an area where they are going to be shaded a little. Yes, the sun is important, but they prefer more shade for them to grow and produce for us. Guys, this herb right here called chives, it is said to be one of the easiest herb to grow in the garden. Well, to be honest, I beg to differ. I have spent several, or I'm not going to say hundreds, but I've spent a few pennies, nickels, and dimes on chive seeds. And I can only recall one time when the chive seeds germinated and said, "Here I am," and then they just disappear. So I think I have given up on trying to grow chives. So since the planting date is between January 6th and February 17th, if anyone out there do have some seedlings that can send me or seeds, send them my way because I don't feel like spending another penny, nickel, or dime on these things. They're just not working out for me. Even though they are a perennial and I would really like to have them in my garden. But guys, I am over with these chive things. They're just not working out for me. And last but not least on the list are my chickpeas. I have been growing my chickpeas from November 20th. Seems as if they're struggling a little bit to me because over here is on the sunny side of life. Look at them. Not looking so good at all. Even my volunteer peas is looking much better than the chickpeas. My. And most of the ones I have over here, they are all gone. I might probably take these out and transplant them in another area because they really look as if they want to continue growing for me, but I just have to put them in an area where they will be getting a little bit more shade. Now let's talk a little bit more about these chickpeas here. Chickpeas, aka garbanzo beans, can be grown from seed in a sunny location with well-drained soil. They are drought tolerant and can tolerate poor soil, but they grow best in rich, well-drained soil. Well, guys, look at that soil right there. Does it look rich to you? I call that native soil. That's all I need to grow my garbanzo beans. So chickpeas must be watered regularly, especially during flower and pod formation. And as usual, we should always remember to mulch our plants for water retention. Maybe that's one of the reasons why the other plants right here died. Now, the outdoor spring planting window for chickpeas is January 20th to February 24th. That means I am gonna go crazy sowing some more chickpea seeds out in my garden. Okay, guys, I believe that this is going to be it for my shade loving crops today. I think I have enough for you to go and start planting some in your garden. And we are going to be heading over to where I suffered my little distraught. Oh my gosh, but look at this pea flower, guys. Isn't it beautiful? Can I tell you? Every time something goes bad in the garden, there is always something to counteract, that reaction. And just to make me feel so happy. If the same thing is happening to you in your garden, guys, go ahead and comment down below. So I am now heading over to that part of the garden to show you what happened. Alright guys, so thank you very much for watching the video to the end. But when I came home and I came over to this area to check on things, guys, look what I saw. My very first radish that I was about to have, it has been eaten. Well, not all the way down. Whatever ate it, it's like they're trying to spite me because they only ate a part of it and left the remaining portion in the ground. I am so distraught. I cannot believe that that evil thing came to my garden, ate my first head of cauliflower, and now they ate my very first radish. I never told this thing that I was using my radish and my cauliflower as tithing to them. No, I didn't. I did not tell them that. So I don't understand why they chose to eat. They chose to eat my very first radish right here and my very first cauliflower right here. Well. Honestly, I think I saw the little culprit yesterday jumping out of this container right here. So I put the rock in there. When it came back, it was not able to eat anything, so maybe that's why it went over there and ate the radish. Alright, but anyways guys, thanks a lot for coming along on this journey with me. I really and truly appreciate you guys putting up with me and my shenanigans over here in Zone 10A, Florida, in my garden. So now that you have learned about some of the cool shade veggies that you can grow, how about trying to grow some on your own? The conclusion of this whole matter is, do not let those shady spots go to waste. With the right selection of vegetables and the proper care, we can all create a thriving and delicious garden, even in the deepest shade. Happy gardening, everyone, and thanks for watching, and I will see you soon in another video. Bye bye.